Good afternoon. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to go through how I've cut out and fitted these windows here. So the reason why there's a big hole, I am doing both sides, but I've done a big hole because I wanted to test my method first before I tell you what equipment I'm using. I've tested it, it's worked an absolute treat. So I'm going to tell you how I've done it. The first thing you need is a ruler, a marker pen, and some of these. Standing blade will probably do it. Then I'm using just a little pry bar, or you could probably use a flathead screwdriver really, but I'm just going to use that and I'll explain why I'm using these as well. Then I use a hand nibbler. Again, these are about £15 from Amazon, cheap enough. After that, I'm going to use a small drill bit, I'm going to call it 4mm, and then a much larger drill bit which I'll be using to deburr on the outside after that. So masking tape, a marker pen, a fine tooth metal jigsaw blade, some files, a mounty sandy thingy, some Hammerite direct to rust paint because this has a primer and a top coat and everything with it. Some suckers to hold the windows, some rubber to put around the edges when they're done, some primer to prime here and on the windows, some bond, and finally, once the windows are pushed into position, some masking tape to hold it in position. Dead simple. So I'm going to go through how I go about it. It's not a tutorial, it's just how I go about it. Now, I've fitted all the windows on this van and I've used the nibbler, which has worked well on this method because it's a bit more intricate with the cuts. I've tried to use the jigsaw and I'm going to be honest, it actually worked better. So yeah, so have a look at our previous videos where we've used a nibbler. It works really well. So far, so good. I'm using a jigsaw on this one. Okay, let's get going. Right, okay, so the first thing you need to do, you just need a ruler and a marker pen. And all you want to do is you want to mark along here, because the first thing we're going to take out is this supporting spine beam along here. So once you've marked it, try and mark it nice and close because it will make a difference of a neater result in the end. So simply mark there and mark there, and then get yourself your standing blade or one of these. I think I got 3 of these from the range for about £2.50 and they are good because they're a little bit longer. So yeah, long and thin, further in, so they say. So just then, you want to break the rubber seal here with a few cuts. This is actually a lot easier than silicone. So just cut along there. There we go, that's through now. And then the same on the bottom. That's through again. Now a little tip for you. When you're going to do the hand nibbler, get your either flathead, if you've got one of these are great, but if not, just get like a big flathead screwdriver. And what you want to do is you want to make the gap, let me show you. So you want to make the gap in there bigger so that your nibbler can go through it without any restrictions. So just get that in there like that and just make it bigger. Just bend it a little bit. It's all coming out anyway, so it doesn't matter if you make a little bit of a dent in it. Just open it up a little bit like that. Trust me, it will make a world of difference to how easy and how quickly you can go with a hand nibbler. So that's that bit done. So all I'm going to do now, I'm going to get the old hand nibbler. I'm going to cut it along and take that out. Right, I'll crack on with that. Oh, I forgot to mention, the reason why the boss isn't here, the reason why Hayley's not with me, she doesn't know I'm doing this. I mentioned ages ago about having windows in the back. We do want eventually want like ladders and boxes and all that, but it's so expensive getting all that. So I thought if I order the windows from Van Pimps, when they get here I'll show her the windows and then she'll go, oh they're nice, and my argument will be won. But they came this morning and she was at work all day today. So I thought, I'm going to just put them in. I'm going to put them in. It's better to ask for forgiveness, chaps, than it is to ask for permission. Unless, of course, you're trying to arrange a menage a trois. And in that case, I would ask for permission first. But yeah, so hopefully she won't kick me out of the house. Easy. Right, time for the second one now. What I suggest as well, when you're doing this, mine's not curling very nice because I've used it so many times, but it's best to go from the bottom to the top, because when you go from the top to the bottom, this bloody safety thing keeps dropping in and not letting me do it. So yeah, for your own sanity, go from the bottom to the top of it. Pull, 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 pull. There you go. Pretty much through now. What's that? Probably took me a minute. And that is actually a lovely square finish on there. So decent. Now this has gone through loads. That's probably the last time I'm ever going to use it. So I think it was 10 quid. For 10 quid it's brilliant. And I think yeah, I wish I'd have known early doors to go up rather than down because of this stupid thing. And just to bring the metal out a little bit more, so you got a little bit more space, because it really does go through easier. But yeah, I think great bit of kit for the job. Right, okay, so once you've got the spine off, the next bit's pretty simple, but it's a bit laborious, but it's quite simple. So you get yourself a nice small drill bit. I think this is a 4mm, nice and sharp, and all you're doing is you're making loads and loads of holes around here, which is just going to be a stencil for when you mark it out on the other side of the panel. So yeah, you want to, if you've got like a nice tight bend, you want to keep the holes quite close together if you want a nice finish. Yes, I'm just going to make probably about 50 holes in this now. So yeah, let's do that bit. Right, so as you can see, I've done loads of little holes all the way around. Yeah, I'm going to have to take this handle off to get this little bit, but that's not going to be a problem. But yeah, take this handle off, finish this last little bit here, and then that then is just your dot to dot outline from the other side of where to cut. Pretty straightforward really. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's no fun. It's no fun drilling like 50 holes, but it don't take too long, so it's not the end of the world. We're making tracks, we're making holes, we're making tracks. Shows how stupid I am. I've just realised I didn't need to take that off. What I've got to do is open the door. So I open the door, I'm going to finish these last few holes, and then we can get down to the next bit. Right, okay, so the next step's pretty simple really. So you just need a nice big drill bit, and all I'm going to do is go around the outside of these. Yeah, just to deburr all the sharp edges really. So that's all I'm going to do now. So do that on the whole van, and then we're on to the next stage. Right, so the next step, what I've done, I've got some masking tape and I've gone round the back of the holes. It took me 10 minutes. Now I know I might be being a bit anal with this because I know I'm not making watches, I'm cutting it out, but it pleases my brain, and it's nicely following all the outsides of the holes. So yeah, I think now I'm going to cut it. I'm going to drill a nice big hole somewhere with the step cutter. Give me a chance of a start off point, and then I'm going to try and cut all the way around. See how we get on. Don't forget your goggles. It's an absolute treat. I'll have this off in about 5 minutes. Oh, once you've done the top, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tape it back up so that it doesn't just fall out when I've done the final cut. So yeah, so once, that's the reason why I've started there. So I'm going to cut there, and then I'm going to tape it with this to secure it in place. Then I'm going to finish cutting the rest. Probably finish the cut around here, and then hopefully it should. It should just flap. We shall see. Right, let's crack on. I'll come back to you when she's ready for the final cut. We got an hole. Yeah, I'm well happy with that. Really good, that. Right, let's take the masking tape off. Right, okay. Right, okay, so yeah, I'm really happy with that. That new that technique over nibbling. I mean, they both work well, to be fair, but yeah, I'm really happy with the finish on that. So yeah, all I've got to do now is sand it down, key this paintwork around here, ready for primer, and put the Hammerite Direct to Rust paint on it, and then it's ready for the door rubbers, well, the window rubbers. Yeah, brilliant, happy days, geez. Right, so that's the hard bit done now, as you can see. Wow. Using the jigsaw method over the nibbler method. Yeah, I really liked it actually. It's a bit of a faff with all the holes, but once you've done that, once you've got it all there, it makes a lovely finish. It really does. So there's not much more to do now. I've just got to sand down the rough edges, key the paintwork ready for the primer, panel wipe the paintwork, put the rubber on the edges, and then yeah, we can fit the windows then. So yeah, I'm really happy. Everything's going to plan so far. I'm just going to go around it now with a little bit of panel wipe, just to get away some of the crud. Right, so both windows are now cut out, both windows are now sanded, they've been keyed, they've been panel wiped. So the next thing I'm going to do is protect where I've cut the metal. Obviously it's bare metal now, so I need to protect it. There's different people use different things. I've chosen to use Hammerite Direct to Metal paint white, because it does say on here, it says it's got a primer, an undercoat and the top coat all in one. So that's what I'm using. If you want to paint that on, let that dry. Right, confession time. I got caught out, lads. Basically, the rule is, don't lie to your wife, you never get away with it. The reason why I didn't get away with it this time is because the U channel. I did myself in with the U channel. So when you buy things, the windows from Van Pimps, like I bought for the back and for the sides, you get a kit, and the kit comes with the U channel, which is the rubber that goes around the edge of the window frame, and you get the adhesive that you need as well. Now you get 3 choices to choose from with the U channel. Now for the other windows, I actually chose this one, which is the medium, which is, if you can see, that. And on the side windows, the gap between the actual 2 panels is quite wide, so we had to pinch it together to get the medium U channel to fit a nice snug fit. So I thought this time I'll be a bit clever, and I'll order the larger one. However, if you look, there's actually hardly any gap at all between the panels. So yeah, I've been quite out, but thankfully I've got away with it. She's all right with the idea, so you know, it turned out all right in the end, didn't it? The only thing is, she says she's gone out with the girls from work today drinking, and she said I've got to make sure those windows are fitted by tomorrow. So we're going to crack on. I'm going to fit this rubber next. So the next job I'm going to do is fit the rubber around both of these. I'll prime, adhesive, and then stick. Hopefully, if the rain stays away for a change, we'll be laughing. Right, let's crack on. Let's get this done. The medium U channel fits like a dream. I should have just got that in the first place and I got away with it one eye. Anyway, I'm going to finish up here now. So skip 2, it's done. Right, so here we go. Rubber, nicely fitted. To be fair, it was an absolute piece of cake. So what we're going to do now is we're going to prime, adhesive, stick, windows, done. Right, okay, so we're on the exciting bit now, the final stages. It's just started raining, so I'm gonna have to kind of try and do this during the dry patches. But so the windows I've got here are right here. They're from Van Pimps. I think the windows, the pair of windows, the fitting kit, the primer, and the U-channel rubber came to about 2:30 with delivery. I ordered it like about 12 o'clock and it came the following morning. This isn't sponsored, but I can, you know, when a good company is a good company, I will say something. I've ordered a few windows from them so far, and so far they've been brilliant. They really have. Obviously, we haven't used them for a long period of time, so I can't sort of give a recommendation on the sort of longevity of them, but I think they're affordable. The sort of quick delivery is really good. And when I rang them a couple of days ago to explain about the U-channel, they were brilliant. I spoke to a human being and they told me what to do. I've sent the other rubber back for a refund, no dramas whatsoever. So yeah, if you're looking for a company for windows, check out Van Pimps, because for me, they've been brilliant. Right, primer. One little thing I'll say, I learned a lesson here. So prime both windows at the same time, because when I fitted the side windows, we fitted them a couple of days apart, well, a day apart, and this primer's set, and it put me back two hours on the day and about 30 quid, because I had to buy a whole new kit from Euro Car Parts because I couldn't just find this in any shop. So yeah, so use this all up in one go, get it all on there. And what I'm going to do, I'll just show you. Oh shit, what was that? Nothing. Okay, good. Right. So, if you have a look, I'm going to try and follow about an inch in the whole way round. So that's the plan. So yes, I'm going to do an inch in the whole way round, and I'm going to do, because I've learnt my lesson, I'm going to do both windows. I'm using the adhesive that came with the kit, with the windows. It's a master bond adhesive. Obviously it does need a primer. I forgot to mention, before I put the primer down, it also comes with a glass primer wipe. So I've wiped both the windows with this first, just to take away any of the any kind of soil or anything that might hurt it. This stuff is naturally cold, and it recommends sort of leaving this in a warm water to warm up the actual adhesive inside. I think that means it will adhere better, but it will also flow out of the gun better. So yeah, so the next bit really is to wait for it to dry a little bit more, get this warmed up, put it down on the windows, and then we can glue the windows on. So let me just quickly show you what I've gone for in terms of where I've put the primer. So all I've done is I've just done maybe a couple of inches down. Now here, I'm going to do a couple of beads of silicone. So I'm going to do one there and one there. Okay, so it's spitting and it looks like it's in for the day now. So I'm going to crack on regardless. I'm pretty confident it's not going to bother it because I'll just dry the, this is going to be dry. I'll dry the body of the van before I attach it, and it's spitting, so it shouldn't be too tragic. It might be a little bit harder to put the tape on, but we'll see what we can do. But I've got to carry on, so we're going to carry on. Right, let's get the adhesive out of the hot water. Okay, so adhesive's nice and warm now, so I'm just going to follow it around with a nice solid bead of this stuff. Try not to have any breaks in it, because that might let water through. Right, so I have actually used a full tin here of the adhesive, so I'm glad it comes with two. Put myself a nice little, quite a fat bead of silicone all the way around. So I'll go outside, we'll make sure the panel's dry, and then we'll get sticking it to the van. Well, we just tape it up and it's done. So the first window is now fitted. It's gone on really well actually, so it's now time. We'll put the adhesive on this window and we'll get this window fitted, and then we'll call that job done. Final window, adhesive on. That's it. Let's go fit. And there you go. Not a bad result for 230 quid. Let's go have a look on the inside. See what it looks like. So we find out it's been a disaster. Oh, for fuck's sake. There we go. All fitted. I think this bond goes off in about an hour, but I'll leave it on. I'll leave it on all afternoon. I'll probably take it off before I go to bed tonight. But that's it. So now that's all the windows fitted. The last thing we need to do for cutting holes in the van is going to be the roof fan, which might be the next video. And then once we've done that, we can then get to the fun part of actually building the camper van, insulation, bed, all that stuff. Thanks for watching. I always forget to ask, but if you don't mind hitting the subscribe button, that'd be brilliant. It's free to do, so if you don't mind doing it, hit that subscribe for us please, and I'll see you on the next one.